What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you the Seong Mina deck that I played for this week's Campus Championship. Let's jump into it. All right, so Seong Mina, what a fun character. Mina is my favorite character from the effect-wise from the Soul Calibur set that we just got, the Libra of Souls set. And these characters are super rad, but let me give you a little bit of what she does. So she's a 5-hand size character with 31 vitality, so she doesn't have a ton of options. The options that she gets is she once per turn makes one of her attacks unbelievably powerful. She turns it into from whatever difficulty to all the way up to like it could be increased by like +2, +3 difficulty because of the ability that it is given. It gets 3 extra speed, it gets stun 3, and the icing on the cake is if you interact with that card, you get to add that card back up to your hand. So if your opponent blocks it, you get to kick it back up. There's a cheeky interaction that happens whenever you use this ability on your opponent's attacks, but we'll get to that in just a second. But the other ability that we have whenever we play this card is form once per turn. If my opponent has more committed foundations than ready, I get to take any asset that I want and then jam it into my staging area. Ready, active, ready for duty. So I want to play enough assets in order to get the ability off on the first form, and I want to control my opponent's staging area with the once per turn. The cheeky interaction that we have is if I use the once per turn on my opponent's attack, the last condition of the clause says add it to your hand. That means Mina's hand. Cards in UniVersus cannot trade ownership to my opponent or my opponent back to me. So the game kind of freaks out and glitches, and it removes the game from play instead. And so instead of the card going back up to their hand, if I block their attack after I've used the Mina enhance on it, it just gets removed from the game. Card's very strong. And so with that, let's go ahead and see the choices that we made inside of the deck. So the first attack that we're playing, the most aggressive attack that we have in the deck is for New Seong Scarlet Meteor. This card's just a catch-all, really. It's an 8 high for 5 with powerful 4 and stun 3 inside of Mina. It's got 1.5 million keywords. You can blow up a foundation to add in assets. You can use assets for powerful or destroy assets if my opponent attempts to play an action card. It's got a 1 mid block with breaker 1 as well. It's just got amazing keywords all over the place. The card's very crazy, arguably unfair, so we're playing 4 of it. Real big money card. Oh, next, we're playing 3 Stakeout. I love this card as an aggressive card on my turn, just like really pushing this card out because of the fact that it says your opponent loses vitality equal to this attack's stun rating, which Mina can give it stun 3, and so it counts. It also says discard momentum. This attack gets +2 to its stun rating, so either I can have a stun 2 and stun 3 card with Mina, or I can have a stun 2, stun 3, increase it to a stun 5, or increase it to a stun 4, stun 3. So this card by itself can commit 7 foundations. And so all by itself, at the cost of a momentum, I can pretty much guarantee Mina's form to happen and build in a foundation. Because if they have 15 foundations, something has gone horribly wrong inside of this game. Committing 7 cards in one attack is very strong if you want to break down somebody's wall. Up next, some defensive or flow cards. We've got 3 Soul Devour. The best place to play this card actually is to block with it. I want to block with this amazing 1 low block, and then every time that my opponent plays a card in the card pool, I get to draw an additional card. The other cool thing about this card is it says discard X cards, choose cards in my choose my opponent's foundations and freeze them. Because of the fact that I can play this as my first attack of the turn, give it stun 3. I can freeze up to 3 cards every turn with the Soul Devour. This card feels a lot like a Ice Dragon Seiryu that could be played under the all symbol, but it's got a little bit different flavor with it being Soul Devour because this card also has powerful 4, excuse me. Up next, disruption-wise, we're playing 3 Forbidden Moon sets. This could easily be 4 of, but honestly, we just don't have a 4th one. Debuilding my opponent is very strong, and Forbidden Moon set always gets to deal damage because there's no way they're going to let me have it back up in my hand. So I'll play the Moon set, bounce the card up to their hand, and if they block it, I get to have my Moon set back. So then I'll just play Moon set in and debuild them a second time. There was not a single time in the event that we played that Forbidden Moon set was blocked. Maybe it was because it was too fast, maybe it was because of not being debuilt at 2, but it just never happened. Up next, the bread and butter of the deck, and the reason that we wanted to play it is 3 Raptor Rush. This card says after you block with it, you may attempt to play it as a reversal. Reversals in Mina are actually insane, especially this one. So the play is I can play it as a reversal without playing a second card out of my hand, give it 3 speed and stun 3. If it's not blocked, I change the zone to whatever zone that I want it to be. and then reduce the attack's damage to 0. But if they do block it, I just pick up my 2 mid block back again, and then block and then play it as another reversal. And so they have to deal with the fact that I'm playing the same card as a reversal twice. It also stunned them 3 cards, to hopefully ending their turn, and it threatens for as a 7 high for 6 the first time, and then a 4 high for 6 the second time. The card's actually crazy. I probably should pump it up to a 4 of if I was going to play the deck again. And then the last attack, the last reversal that we're playing is 3 Nouveau Soleil. This card was also insane as a 6 high for 5 with stun 3, readying 2 foundations, and if it's not blocked, I commit my opponent's character, and if they do block it, I'll just pick this card back up, block, and then play my reversal again. Hey, they have to full block the card again. Card is crazy inside of Mina. I highly suggest these 2 cards together were so unbelievably fun to just play around inside of this deck. You really felt truly threatening on both players' turns when you had access to both of these. On to the assets that we were playing. They're very, very important in the deck just because of how Mina's ability works. The first aggressive asset that we're playing was 1 Flambear. It says plus speed or minus speed. Honestly, giving plus 4 speed to everything just means that they just weren't blocking. There's actually 0 chance that they can block. And then the minus speed was fine as well, especially if we want to remove their attack with Mina's ability. On to some flow cards, we're playing Double Scarlet Thunder. This card is insane in Mina because of its Mina Enhance remove. Add up the 2 cards from your card pool to your hand. There was at one point where I was sitting and looping Raptor Rush and Nouveau Soleil over and over and over again, depending on how much momentum I have. As well as it has the other hidden ability of discard a momentum. If your non-throw attack deals damage, add another card from your card pool to your hand. And so it is a small version of Cal Yuga in order to just keep looping cool cards as long as you have the momentum to pay for it, and they don't want to interact with your cool card because you're Mina, and you'll just get the first card back anyways. So you play an attack, you play a second attack, you use Mina, you discard the momentum, and so either way, we're getting one of these 2 cards back. Either them blocking and I pick up my Raptor Rush, or the Raptor Rush hitting and I pick up my Nouveau Soleil. Card's just really, really scary with the combo potential it has. Speaking of Cal Yuga, we're playing 1 Cal Yuga. This card combos really exceptionally well with Meteor, and so why wouldn't we play it? As well as being able to block, play the reversal on the Raptor. If I've got 6 foundations on my opponent's turn, I'll just commit and then pick my Raptor back up. I've got another 2 mid block with another reversal. Defensively, we're playing 1 Omega Sword and Elk Shield. This card just, if I block with it, I can make my attack deal no damage. One of the best cards to just constantly go back and fetch back and forth with Mina. Hey, I'll block with this thing, play my reversal. It only dealt 1 damage. I'll end your turn. This thing will not go to my discard pile. I'll form. I'll bring back in my asset. I can block again. Kind of making me a forever 6-hander as long as they have enough committed foundations. Up next, a little disruption. We're playing Psychic Spirit Glass. We could call this a bit of a flow card because the main point of this is to just guarantee a kill on my turn. Form remove. After my opponent has played a couple cards, I'm going to look at their hand, choose the block zone, whether it be high or low, depending on the attack that I'm overloading them with, and then I'm just going to powerful out either with Mina's attack, the Moonset, or the Soul Devourer. Is that the name of that card? Yeah, Soul Devourer. All these having powerful, so using up my momentum and then just mollywopping you. And then the last asset we're playing is Double Soul Caliber. This card is insane. One of the strongest assets in the entire game. If you have not picked these up, you definitely should. Respond commit after your opponent plays a weapon attack. You get to seal it. And then if you happen to be a Soul Caliber character like we are, you can respond to remove one of these in order to pick up a cool asset from our discard pile. Very useful whenever you need to find that clutch piece. Basically, it's just another copy of Mina. On our actions, we're only playing the 1. We're just playing 1 stop. Sometimes characters are very scary. I know mine's really good, so I want to make sure my opponent doesn't have theirs. So block. Hey, you don't get to use your character. Super good. On our attacks, our first aggressive attack, on our foundations, our first aggressive foundation is Rid of the World of Outsiders. Because we were playing a reversal deck, I do want to be able to give my reversal +2/+2, or play my second card, give it +2/+2, another +3 stun 3. Just kind of pushes a little extra damage through. Makes them a little chunkier. A card I was trying out and I absolutely loved is Double Sin Battlesuit. After I play a stun ability, stun 3 off whatever attack I want, I can flip and then give the attack +3 speed. So now Mina, with a simple flip of a foundation, is +6 speed and stun 3. They're not blocking whatever this card is. And the last thing is, if my opponent attempts to play an action card, I can commit it, and I get to choose to commit either an asset or a foundation in their staging area. So a little more selective stun. Oh, you have a Swordfish after you banged Mina? Let's just commit the Swordfish. I just don't have to deal with it for the rest of the turn. On a Flow, we're playing double Voice of Reason, discard a card, draw a card. There's plenty of times where these assets got a little cloggy in my hand, so being able to discard the asset and then just build it in for free with Mina is a very, very fun play to do. In the same vein, we're playing 3 Never a Day Without Training. Flip, as long as I have an asset, I get to draw a card. Otherwise, it's a cycle draw. We're playing double Passing the Torch one more time. Commit, draw a card. I want to have plenty of ways that I can beat this 5-hander problem, and that is just adding more cards up into my hand. The next flow is all about readying foundations. We're playing 1 T1 on groceries. Remove 2 foundations from my discard pile. Ready this card, playable while committed. This is really, really helpful whenever I have the meteor loop. If I've got 2 meteors and a Calyuga and 6 foundations, every time that I play a card, I have to commit an extra card. And so the groceries can be the card. I can ready it back up and then feel very safe about continuing my turn. In the same vein, we're playing 1 God of Thunder, but as opposed to groceries, where I remove 2 foundations, I'm going to destroy one of my foundations instead. Card gets me out of deadlock. Card gets me down to 6 foundations so that I get to abuse my cool abilities. Up next, we're playing Triple Marrying Age. This card could be in the Disruption category, but I chose it to be here. I think this card is very, very important inside of Mina because the main gimmick, the main shtick that I get to do is I get to commit all your cards. And if you have any way to re-ready your cards, I kind of am up a creek without a paddle. And so Marrying Age lets me re-ready cards at the same pace that you re-ready cards, and I'm going to be committing, hopefully, more cards than you can re-ready. And if I re-ready cards, then you get to re-ready. It's just a back and forth that hopefully Mina will get to come out on top on. If I don't have cards to ready, I can then start adding cards from my hand and just building them in for free, cards that I could normally play, and just to, as I hope to extend my kill turns even further. On to some defense, we're playing Triple Fei, just flip -3 speed. I do have to make sure that I can block something, especially if I need Mina's, if I want Mina's ability to go off. Cards, it's also very, very good versus throws, because of the way that the ruling works is you never get to go to the damage step because the card gets just added back to your hand before the attack even finishes resolving. So it makes your attack safe on block, and it says that you take no damage even on the partial block. So we have to make sure we can block at least one thing. Speaking of blocks, we're playing 1 Nightmare Terrors, just auto blocks low. We're playing 1 Cool and Focus, auto blocks mid, make sure we really get the most out of our Mina. But sometimes we can't block, or they play some cards and we don't want to waste our resources, so we're playing 1 Retreated Arctica. If my opponent has 3 or more keywords on their card, I can just destroy this, and put their damage to 0 before we go to blocks. Up next, we're playing 1 Last of His Kind, pay 2 Vitality for -4 damage, and a little bit of a Deadlock Desperation damage pump. Really good because my character already gives speed. Last of His Kind gives the damage. Refusing to Let Go, kind of in the same vein as Retreated to Arctica. It's just a commit cost to put it back to printed -2. Unbelievably powerful on things like multiples, and can get you in a bit of a sticky, get you to reset your own damage if your opponent gives it, let's say, -10. I'll put it back to printed and give it +2, and then +3 speed stun 3. My attack's still going to do something. On to the disruption cards. We're playing double Manifestation. If my card gets stunned, I'm going to stun you 1 back. Really potent in a character that already has stun 3 printed on our face. We're playing 1 Aswell's Little Doll. If my opponent plays a Responsibility, I can discard a Momentum, which I'm very easily to get. My cards don't like to get blocked very often, and then I get to cancel it. 1 $500 Sunglasses. This could be a defensive card because of the static on the text, but I actually like it more for the after my opponent plays an ability, commit an extra card. It's just a fun extra bit of stun on their turn. 1 from Mother Russia. If they attempt to add cards to their hand, I'll put it in their staging area. A really good target to ready back up with Marrying Age. As a 5-hander, one of the easiest ways to beat me is debuilding. And so we are playing double Pursuing a Vendetta to add a card back in if one of my cards leave my staging area. It says after a foundation, not a card, so it does not include things like assets. We're also playing double Ageless and Wise, kind of in the same room of Pursuing a Vendetta, but as opposed to this being reactive after the fact my card has already left, this just stops the card from leaving in the first place. And then lastly, we've got double Unlikely Romance. So not only am I covering my entire block zone of the mid, low, and high with these anti-destruction cards or anti-staging area hate cards. This card also has the hidden ability of increasing my stun rating by 1, or reducing my opponent's stun rating by 1. It really just depends on what you need. 1. All right, so there you have it. There's the Mina deck that I played for this week's Campus Championship. If you like this deck and you want to see more just like it, make sure you go out and you check out all the other profiles that we've recorded for the Rochester versus TCG Showdown. And if you want to catch the matches live, you can do that by going out and following at twitch.tv/TCG University. We go live every Tuesday about 3 o'clock as we host a 8-man single elimination bracket. And then if you want to support the channel, if you like the content that we're making, we thank you very much. And the best way to do that is by going out to patreon.com/TCG University. Sub out there at the $1 level, get access to our Discord, and talk to me about your really cool Mina deck. I love this character, and I would love to hear your cool ideas with her. So from all of us here at TCGU, thank you very much for watching the video, and stay learned.